She won't get it to sweat, honey peanut butter. She want them. God damn it, I'm rich, I'm fly, I'm a real swagged out, pimpin' kinda guy. Stacking my guap, making my chain. Got you ladies straight doing my thing. God damn it, I'm rich, I'm fly, I'm a real swagged out, pimpin' kinda guy. Stacking my guap, making my chain. Got you ladies straight doing my thing. God damn it, I'm rich. Welcome to another episode of No Cap Reacts Sunday Night Live. I'm your man Bailey, aka Mr. Go Get 'em. And we are live in the motherfucking building on another episode of Sunday Night Live. As y'all know, on Sunday nights, same as we on Friday nights, we got a special guest. This one hails all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Land of the cold. Bunch of cold shit going on, but he said, fuck that. I'm coming with the heat. Not only did he come with the heat, he made the transition to the heat.
Oh, yeah.
He is right here in Phoenix, Arizona, coming to make a name for himself. And in doing so, decided to come sit on the couch. He's all about...
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So let me go ahead and introduce to you this man.
It's time.
Vonni G in the building. Let him know who you are, sir.
What up, Vonni G in the building? You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee's finest, all the way from the 414 to the 602. You know how we get down, man.
Tell these motherfuckers who you are, though.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm Vonni G, man. I hail from Milwaukee, man. I moved out here about 10 years ago. Music wasn't my original path when I first came out here. It was just to get the hell out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to get away from the cold. And in doing so, I saw the market, how wide open it was out here for hip hop, and decided to get back into it. I've been doing music for the past 7-8 years out here. So been grinding, been all over Atlanta, Texas, New York, Chicago, Detroit, you know, been around.
Now, while you're out here doing this music, tell us a little bit about what has the music scene been like for you in Phoenix, Arizona?
When I first started out here, I kind of took it by storm. I started off by winning the Arizona Hip Hop Festival a few years ago. After that, it just kind of took off from there. Arizona's been pretty welcoming of it. You know, it has its ups and downs, you know, with the politics and stuff like that. I try not to play too deep into the politics out here. I kind of stay in my own lane and do what I got to do, man. Stay out of people's mouths. Stay out the way.
Elaborate on the politicking out here. What you talking about when you say politics?
Politics, as far as, you know, people pushing the narrative, pushing who they want to push. They don't necessarily push a lot of the talented artists, because there's a lot of talent in Arizona, and there's a lot of talent that's not from Arizona that's out here that don't get the shine that they should. So that's the shit I'm talking about.
You got a couple of names specifically that you might be talking about?
No, I mean, you know, I don't toss no names out there. They know who they is. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, I will. Niggas like Emmett Dupree. I'll give it up for Merkham's. Daily Every Day.
Every day.
Let's see. Who else?
I mean, if I'm a name some, you know, KT Gibson, Denzel Davis, Marley Park, you know, Big Doobie.
There you go. See?
Manfly, LRTK. You know how we get down, man.
You know Manfly?
I know Manfly.
Manfly and Joe Boy?
I know all of them, especially Joe Boy. You know what I'm saying? Tub Marley, the whole gang.
All right. So now that you are here in Arizona, so this is a show that's gonna be seen everywhere. But clearly, you know, because it's in Arizona, a lot of people in Arizona know who Mr. Bailey is, and the shit that I do. So let's just go ahead and say, what is it that you plan or want to do, or what do you want to put out here, music wise, industry wise, and what's your overall goal?
My overall goal really is to do it all. Music just the beginning of it. I'm trying to get into acting, doing commercials, movies. I'm just really trying to go into the whole entertainment scheme of things. Music wise, I'm just really pushing fun. My first few albums, I talked about a lot of the street shits. I come from the streets, so I talk about a lot of that stuff. Now I'm kind of over talking about the streets because it's like been there, done that. You know, if you keep living in the streets, you're gonna get took by the streets. So I try to stay away from the street stuff, start having more fun with the music, more of a vibe, more wavy feel to it. And just kind of cater to the ladies more now.
All right, so you said acting, right?
Yes, sir.
How you plan on getting into the acting realm? What was like the things that you want to do? How do you plan on kicking down the door and becoming part of that world?
Really, it's just knowing the right people. I got a lot of people out in LA. I got a lot of people here in Arizona that are kind of in that realm already. So I got some people that I can kind of get my foot in the door. Start off with some low tier stuff. Some Tubi movies. Something like that. What I'm saying, Tubi. Yeah, Tubi got all the hood movies. We can start off. You gotta start off at a certain plateau, and I'd rather start at Tubi and then kind of work myself up because, it's a lot of hidden actors on Tubi, man. You just got to keep watching the hood movies, and one of them gonna come up one day. But I just want to be able to say I did that. So I don't want to go through life, second guessing it, like, man, I should have did that, or I wish I would have did this. And it's like, no, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna live my best life. I got one life to live. Might as well live it to my fullest. So.
All right, so people is looking for you. Where exactly can they find you at? Like, what platforms are you on? Is your music able to be streamed?
Yes, my music is able to be streamed. I'm on every major platform from Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, Google Play, whatever your favorite streaming site is, I'm there. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at VonnieG414 and on Facebook at VonnieG. No website yet. I'm currently working on the website. It's under construction.
I can help you with that.
Mr. Belly got the plug on the website.
I do everything: photography, videography, websites, business cards, flyers, everything. So
you a one-stop shop.
I used to be signed to Sony, sir. At one point in time, I was an artist myself, and what I realized real quick was the money that the label was putting into me. There's this word called recoupable. So the more money they spend on me, the more money I owe them. So instead of owing them money, I started to learn how to use Photoshop. My thing then, the company back then was Pen and Pixel, and my job was to put Pen and Pixel out of business.
Oh, wow.
Personally. So I started playing in Photoshop so much that I became extremely proficient. Photoshop CS3, all the little blinged out that everything then was a bling bling CD cover, flyer.
Right.
I went through that whole
the Cash
phase.
Money covers.
Yeah, I went through the whole the no limit covers. Okay, Pen and Pixel had they had a stamp on the market, and I wasn't gonna let them do that to me. So I started to learn Photoshop and made all my own CD covers and did all those things. And what was smart is I formed a whole totally different company, and then I would charge the label.
Oh, that's how you do it.
So the label was actually paying me for doing me.
One up the label. That's what's up.
So I went to college for business, and the first thing you figure out and you learn in business is how to be your own boss. And the first way to be your own boss is be somebody that a one-stop shop. Be that person that everybody can go to.
Nice. That's facts though.
All right, so fuck me. Tell us, like, growing up in Milwaukee, start us at the very beginning, your childhood, what you did in Milwaukee, how'd you end up in the music, like, who are some of the people that you look up to that even made you want to get into the music industry? Let's start there. So how was your childhood?
Growing up in Milwaukee, it was rough. Growing up in the 80s, growing up in the early 90s. It was pretty rough. It's a lot of gang activity.
80s baby.
Yeah, 80s baby for sure. I grew up with my mom and dad, but it was kind of reversal in my household. My dad was more of a stay-at-home dad. My mom kind of was the breadwinner. My pops played the drums. I mean, the dude could do everything. Play basketball, baseball, football, you name it. My pops could do it all. So that was someone that pretty much influenced me out the gate. He taught me how to play a full set of drums. When I was growing up, my mom insisted on me playing the violin. I don't know why, but it was good to learn. After a while, kind of growing up, kind of got away from playing the drums and the violin. Definitely got into the street life. Started running with the wrong crowd. Got it, initiated into a gang, and was basically just walking the path of the wrong road. Until one day, it took for me to go to juvie to understand like this wasn't the life that I really wanted to be in. Still gang affiliated, but I just had a different vision. Started going to school more, started getting my grades up, started playing sports. Ended up going to college at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Graduated magna cum laude. Was gonna go to law school at Marquette, but decided not to do that. That was my mom's dream for me. I just started to basically start to figure out what I really wanted to do in my life, which was basically be an entrepreneur and make music. She wasn't too happy about that, but I decided to do what I wanted to do. I left Milwaukee about 10 years ago. It was basically a me versus them type of thing. All my homies was dying, going to jail. I just felt like I was next. So I just decided you know what? This ain't the place. It ain't nothing but, cats getting shot every day, cats going to jail every day. And I was like, man, I got to do something different with my life. And so I ended up applying for a job out here in Arizona. They called me for an interview, and I took that job, never looked back, been here ever since. Just been out here grinding. That's, But growing up, yeah, my pops, huge influence. We had some Milwaukee artists that was a pretty huge influence. Rico Love, Baby Drew.
Y'all biggest artist is Prince.
Prince in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's not us. That's Minnesota. You know what I'm saying?
He had both the states. Nah, he took over both the. He the cold weather nigga.
Hey man, you better refresh yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. You know what I'm saying? You better get yourself right. Those is powerful waters up there in Minnesota, man. Stop playing.
I'm just saying, ain't nobody bigger than Prince in that area.
I mean, the Midwest, yeah, Prince is huge. Prince is huge, but growing up in hip hop wise back then, our biggest influence in the Midwest was Twista, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, those type of cats. Common, and plus the Midwest is very heavily influenced by the East Coast, so it was a lot of Biggie, a lot of Wu-Tang, a lot of that stuff. So that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, real hip hop, not none of the mumble rap stuff. So
mumble rap wasn't part of our generation.
Not at all. You actually had to articulate. You had to have substance in your rhymes. Back then, now you can just say whatever with a dope beat and you pretty much own, which is crazy.
All right, so let's take this back a little bit. So you said you went to juvie, right?
Yeah.
What'd you get in trouble for?
I stabbed a kid in the eye with a pencil, man.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
He needs some milk.
Y'all heard it. Y'all think y'all be safe in school with them number 2 pencils? Here's a prime example of exactly why your ass is not safe with a number 2 pencil. How old was you?
Roughly 11, 12, 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade around that time. So
you was running around here talking about, I got murder on my mind before that shit was ever even thought about.
No, what happened was, man, the funny story about it was it was a dude that was kind of fucking around, and he kept messing with my food. And I'm like, hey, bro, stop playing with my food. Cats keep playing, they don't know when to stop playing. And the first thing I picked up was a pencil, and it was just kind of a reaction. Like he reached over and it was like, fat, right now. Like,
Well,
damn.
ladies and gentlemen, what you guys also realize is Vonni G has hand-eye coordination. And has since a very young age.
Yes, sir.
Make sure ain't no pencils or nothing back there.
He said, I don't want to get stabbed today.
He's stabbing kids in the eye at 12 years old. With that, we're going to open up the phone line. So if you guys got any questions, you want to jump in and be part of this conversation, you can do so by all means. Again, if you are just tuning in, we got Vonni G sitting here on the couch today. But in the meantime, in between time, real quick, do me a favor. That's hilarious. So it popped up right in the chat too. The guy he stabbed don't have hand-eye coordination. Shit, the motherfucker only got one eye now.
Just the bottom lid, the pencil tip broke off in the bottom lid. It didn't get the eyeball. He was straight. But, the white folks at school weren't playing. They was like, he got to go.
Damn.
So I went,
That's crazy. All right. So, wait, how long did you end up doing a juvie for that? Because, wait, what did they charge you with? Because that's damn near attempted murder.
Assault.
Assault in what? Assault of lead poisoning?
It's just an assault charge. A juvenile assault charge.
That's not no juvenile assault charge. You tried to kill that nigga. You was literally giving him the Egyptian version of I'm about to get your brain out through pencil. Like,
Man.
I'm finna pull this shit out your damn face. What is wrong with you? Leave me alone. What was he doing for you to stab him in the eye?
Oh, man, he's like messing with my food, trying to touch my food. They weird stuff kids do, man.
Oh, shit. So what you also saying is
Don't play with my
12
food.
years old, you was a fat kid. You got fat kid problems.
Oh,
You
no.
was out here talking about some don't touch my food. I will kill you. See, middle school back in that was probably what?
The 90s?
90s for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't really understand how rough it really. These kids nowadays, y'all talking about you don't know what gender you are. Motherfucker, we was trying to kill each other with number 2 pencils. we was what? At that age, in the 90s? I guess I was middle school in the early 90s. Yeah. In the 90s, man, we was happy to get a mechanical pencil. We thought that was like the coolest thing ever. Y'all running around with iPads and iPhones and all kind of other
We thought pagers
nonsense.
was the coolest shit ever.
Man, pagers was trash when you look at it now.
Right. Like, this is what we was using? Like, this is what we was begging everybody for? Let me get a page me. I still remember the codes. We used to tell you, little chick, man, 304. That's what you are.
All right, so you took a job to go ahead and come out here to Arizona.
I sure did.
What kind of job was you? What job did you put? Wait, no, back up before we can go there. What age did you start doing music?
So I actually started doing music at the age of 7. From playing the violin and playing drums.
Violin.
The violin.
Niggas don't play violin. What?
Niggas do play violin
Where?
everywhere.
Never seen one.
You will be amazed.
Pull it out your pocket.
I ain't got my violin. No more.
Exactly. See, I told y'all, niggas don't play violin. He talking that shit, but he ain't got one with him. Now does he?
I
Can't
don't
even
play
prove it.
I do not play that thing no more. I actually despise that instrument. I had a really racist violin teacher. He was the worst.
Yeah, cause he never saw a nigga playing the violin.
He had plenty niggas in his
And look,
class.
he was just like probably Tiger Woods. That's why Tiger Woods' daddy coached him. Cause when he took him to the what they call the country club, they said, get that half nigga out of here. No, cause once you guys start doing stuff, you take over. And your violin teacher said the same thing. Get this little fat stabbing nigga out of here. He gonna stay.
I wish I was overweight back then. That shit would have been crazy.
Hey, if you ain't know, you on No Cap Reacts. We don't do nothing out here but talk shit the entire time.
Man, that shit is crazy. I mean, shit, he still lived though. He good. He got both of his eyes still. We all right. He all right.
So you didn't even do the job effectively. That's why see.
I didn't want to really fully take him out.
Are you affiliated with any gangs?
Yes.
You are.
Yes.
I don't believe you because you didn't kill the first nigga you were supposed to.
It's all right. It wasn't to kill him, fam. It was just to send a message.
Don't touch my food.
Yeah, don't touch my food. I'm a fat kid. We out here eating.
You just said you wasn't fat though.
I wasn't though, but we out here just on some bullshit. So let's talk some shit. So. There's a fat kid in all of us. I'm telling you, like a lot of people don't play with their food, man. I know
mean,
people that freak out when they food
to
touch.
Be playing with people's food. Food is a necessity in life. So if you playing with somebody's food, you could technically, well, ain't no technically. Clearly, you find out you playing with your life if you're dealing with the wrong person.
Yeah.
So
you might get a pencil to the eye. You never know.
Get a pencil to the eye, and ain't no fun when the niggas like Vonni G got the pencil. I can tell you that right now.
Hey man, it is what it is.
All right, so you started playing violin. How'd you get from violin to gangster rap?
I started doing music in 2003 with my homies in college. I had transferred from a predominantly white school to a historical black college in Holly Springs, Mississippi. So I was at Russ College, and a lot of my homies would rap. And so we would basically be in the car smoking weed, freestyling, and then go to somebody's house with their little makeshift in-house studio. And then we just would start rapping. You know, we just keep going. And then after a while, after like 2003, 2004, I stopped doing it. I was like, man, this is just a hobby. I ain't trying to do this shit for real. Until I got out here, and I was just like, damn, this is too wide open. And all my friends kept pushing me like, bro, just go ahead and do it. Just do it. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to be no 93-year-old rapper. And they was like, bro, that shit timeless.
He's 85 right now.
I'm
That's
85, yeah. So, well, shit, now we out here, you know, I didn't want to be fake when I first started rapping. I didn't want to be like one of those rappers that, you know what I'm saying, talked about shit they never lived through. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I talk about in my music, I really lived through that shit. I really did that shit. I was really on them blocks. I was really outside hustling. I was really doing that shit in Milwaukee with a lot of the homies.
Y'all heard it first. He ain't self-snitching. He just let y'all know. He was sharpening the pencils themselves and sell them on the street corners. That's all he was doing.
Serving pencils by the boxes. I got number 2s on deck. You know what I'm saying? I had the fat boys for popping pencils, whatever you wanted to do. I had them for sale, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You could study or you can murder a nigga. It didn't matter.
See, real niggas was pistol whipping. He was pencil whipping.
Yeah, pencil whipping, G. Popping the shit out their eye. Fat. Tearing that shit up, man. But nah.
So you out working the corners, working the streets, living what most niggas live. Let's just be real about it.
Pretty much.
Mississippi. I'm very familiar with Mississippi. I got family down there. You went from the cold to humidity.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, high class? Welcome to the pod. Hold up, I got something for you, sir.
Dom DeMarco.
Thank you for joining in. So you are 100% on your street game. Went from the cold to straight up humidity because Mississippi is humid.
Mississippi is humid beyond belief.
Summers are brutal. Fall, spring, beautiful as long as you ain't got allergies.
Pretty much.
If you got allergies, nigga, your ass is about to die.
Yeah, it's over for you if you got allergies. It's over.
And then in the wintertime, it's a hit or miss. You might be snowed in or iced in. Outside of that, it's just regular cold shit. So,
it snowed when I went to Russ College one time.
So you went to college in Mississippi.
Yep.
And that's when you started doing music.
Yes, sir.
And then just said fuck the music. And I'm probably gonna say you said fuck the music for the same reason that I know a lot of other niggas said fuck the music. They wasn't making any money, right?
I wasn't making not a damn thing off of it.
So you saw all these dudes probably popping off all these shows. You know, doing then was mixtape time. 2003, shit. This the days
The crunk era.
Yeah, that's well, no, that's Nelly, Chingy, Lil Jon and Eastside Boys was tapering off. So was Yin Yang Twins, David Banner.
You know, in Mississippi, David Banner was
It was
king.
all the way, but the best thing, the crazy part about it is now that I think about it, it was the Midwest and down south was the sound. So you was actually right where you needed to be at the right time. So what made you? Well, so because of no money, you said fuck it.
No money, and then a lot of people at the time that we was all doing music with, a lot of them wasn't taking it serious. It was just like, yeah, man, we gonna get in the studio this day, and then 3 months later, we gonna get on the studio this day. 3 months later, we gonna get in the studio this day. Like,
Oh, so you was dealing with a bunch of people that really wasn't serious about it.
yeah. So I was just like, man, you know what? I can't deal with this shit, man. I gotta go home and get a degree. So I need plan B. So I went back to University of Wisconsin Whitewater and got my degree.
What'd you get your degree in?
Pre-law and physical education with a
Pre-law?
coaching honor. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on.
Yeah.
The same nigga that tried to kill a kid with a number 2 pencil went to school for pre-law.
Sure did.
I feel like Don King right now, and I just want to say only in America.
Only in America, man.
Only in America.
I mean, but you grow up though. That's the thing though. You gotta grow up sometime.
I mean, that's a good thing. So
gotta
what
get
the
away from
hell
the
made
street
you
life.
decide to want to go to? Did you want to be a lawyer?
I wanted to be an agent. I wanted to be a sports agent. That's what I went to school. That's what I was going to law school for. You know what I'm saying? I got my undergrad in pre-law and physical education, and I was gonna go to Marquette Law School to take up sports law.
So what stopped you from doing that?
Too much money, man. And then, I mean, really, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell the world some real shit. Law school is a sham. The LSAT, a scam. Like, none of that shit means nothing. Like, only thing you really need to learn is how to learn. Only thing you really need to learn from law school is learn how to read a contract. If you can't read a contract, you're in the wrong business anyway, especially music, movies, whatever thing you want to do. You got to know how to read that contract. And I spent all that money to learn how to read a contract.
I think I said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Educational system is a joke. First and foremost, the fact that they charge you to go learn is a joke. But the majority of the stuff that they teach you is bullshit. I went to college for business. I didn't even stay in the full entire year. Football actually kept me more interested in school than anything else. What's up, little bro? Welcome to the show. College is. It used to be a place where you absolutely had to have it, but nowadays not so. Because those of us with no college degree is making far more money than those with a college degree. Unless you are going to be a doctor and or as he went to school for a lawyer, dentistry, something like that, for the most part, you do not need a college degree. And I learned everything that I learned from, honestly, physically doing it. You can download contracts and grab a dictionary and you'll figure it out.
For real.
So,
That's facts though.
all right, so now you took a job. What job did you put in to come to Arizona?
I actually was working for Drive Time as a human resource recruiter. So I was actually hired to give people jobs, which is crazy.
You was what they call them?
A recruiter.
Yeah, but they call them something else. They call y'all something sharks or something like that. It'll come to me. So you are literally a recruiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
The grind.
Another prime reason why not to go to fucking college. This nigga
Right.
went to law school to become a recruiter for Drive Time.
Right. That shit was crazy. Like, I spent 4 years in school for this shit. Like this, I mean, you really look at it at the end of the day. Like, I really put myself in debt to
do nothing.
To do absolutely nothing when the person sitting right next to me is
Didn't
fresh
go to
out of high
school.
school.
Yep.
Like,
Or got a GED. Imagine that. You sitting next to somebody who's got a GED.
And I'm sitting there in debt. Trying to
Big
pay off
debt.
Right, trying to pay off student loans and all that bullshit. while I got somebody that's sitting right next to me with not one lick of any college education whatsoever. So I was like, you know what? That shit for the birds. And so then after that, I mean, really, I just started finding jobs that pay more. And I mean, now I'm good now. But back then, 10 years ago, oh man, it was a struggle out here, for real, for real. But it was cheap out here at that back then, though. It wasn't
Honestly, I don't
as
think it was a
expensive.
struggle, man.
Job wise, it
I
was a
moved
struggle.
out here 11 years ago. And let's just put it like this. You went to juvenile. I went to the big boy spot.
Yeah, man.
I got raps on raps. Right? But I came out here even now today. I work corporate America, 100% corporate America. AT&T, T-Mobile, Adobe. My first job out here was a general manager of a software company. You know that I have never in my entire life written a code. I don't even play video games. So how I got that job, I can't even. Good interview. I put it like that. It was a good interview.
That's really what it is, man. If you can kill it in your interview, you can get any job you want out here.
Okay, so you moved to Arizona.
Yes, sir.
You see that it is lacking in the music space.
Yeah, it was lacking.
And you said, fuck it, I'm going to get into this rap shit. Tell us
Yeah,
about it.
I just basically was like, man, I'm gonna try it. I got a friend out here that actually got me to get back into it. Black Peso. We was working at the same place. We was working at Humana. This is after I left Drive
The
Time.
one in Tempe?
Yeah,
Off of Hardy?
pretty much.
Yep.
So I was working over there, and me and him was on the same team, and he kept asking me to come to his shows.
Amanda Hicks says Arizona is lacking in many spaces. Elaborate on that. Hold up. Amanda, call in. 602-736-6660. Let us know what Arizona's lacking in. Let's hear it.
Like it was insane. He like really kept like, hey man, come to my show. And so one day I was like, yeah man, I'll come to your show. And so me and my partner went out to his show, and like he was looking at me, I looked at him, I was like, dude, it's wide open out here. Maybe that's because I didn't know any of the real artists that was out here yet, as far as like cats that was like really heavy hitting underground artists in Arizona, really making a name for themselves. I was just going to, cats that's freshly, first few times on stage, that sort of thing, in those type particular, arenas, in those battlefields with them. And I'm like, all right, and I was like, it's kind of wide open out here. That's what I thought. I'm like, it's wide open. I'm finna jump out. I'm gonna jump out here. And after that, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, let's do it. Let's make a group. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do no group. I'm like, groups never work.
Never.
Ever. Like groups never work. It's always somebody that get too big for their britches, and then next thing you know, you got cats that got Beyonce syndrome. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. Like, if I'm gonna do music with you, like, we're gonna do it for real. And I told him, I said, man, if I do this shit, I'm gonna do it for real. Like, I'm not gonna play. And I mean, 8 years later, here I am. Music on all major platforms, winning shows out here. Like,
what's the biggest show you've done?
The biggest show that I did out here was the Arizona Hip Hop Fest, when he had it outside. That's the one I won. It was over 3,500 people out there.
How long ago was this?
I want to say 2016 or 17.
Okay.
With Justice.
So, like I said, I've been here for 11 years now. I was signed to Sony. Signed November 2006.
Nice.
Officially got out in 2010. Then I did a venture with Universal, which was just going to be distribution. But at that point in time, I was so done with the music business that I really didn't care, didn't push it that much. I stopped doing shows. I was cool taking care of my kids and even just going back to working like a real job. And then like the money that I made, I was putting into other stuff, investments and just sitting on a lot of money at the same time too. And just didn't care. Right.
Yeah.
So I moved to Arizona and I see that there's a market out here. So my now business partner, but was my manager then, Mike B. I hit him up. I'm like, how come I never did a show in Arizona? He's like, the market wasn't there. I was like, what you mean the market wasn't there? He's like, when you were doing stuff and we were everywhere, Arizona isn't Arizona. I said, nigga, I'm out here now. Everybody coming out here. There's no artist that I don't see out here. I said, nigga, Renegade is out here. He's like, what? I go, yeah, he lives in Levine. For y'all that don't know, Renegade is Busta Rhymes' brother, like blood brother. You have so many people, Willie North Pole. So my cousin is Chingy. They were both on DTP. He lives out here. So I linked up with him ASAP. Futuristic. I linked up with him ASAP. Back then we had a club called Rhino. It's a strip club. My then girlfriend actually is the one that got me to go to that strip club. And that's where I met Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. And then they invited me to their house that was then in Arcadia, which is where I was living at then, and had no idea. They was living up on a mountain. I was living at the bottom of the mountain.
That's crazy.
Then the Super Bowl came here. But before we even get to the Super Bowl, so it was 2012, and my manager called me. He goes, we're about to do this show, but we want you on it. And I was like, what? He goes, we want to throw you a retirement show. Like, if you done, you're done, and we're going to do it. So I'm like, what you talking about? Now, keep this in mind. About a year prior to that, I dropped my hard drive. My hard drive was the only thing. So when I moved from Missouri to here, I had a full studio in my house. I sold everything. All I kept was my hard drive. At some point in time, I dropped my hard drive, and it never worked. I just threw it away. I wasn't finna take it nowhere and get it because like I'm done with music. Like that's how done with music I was.
Damn.
So now he wants me to do a show. Now look, at that point I had been paying this company for like 3 years to get all of my music off of the internet. To get all these pictures off of the internet. Like, I am 100% trying to kill my music persona. Like,
You trying to kill your image.
I can Google myself right now, and there's still stuff there, but it used to be when you Google me, a ton of shit would pop up. Now, very little. There's one spot, well, two spots, because there's the radio station. Radio stations still have some of my songs that are still in rotation, and I'll pop up on their track list. And then there's one place that I know that I have music at. It's the only place. That's the only place. Also, I had to go in, figure out what the password was, change the profile to download the music to even do the show.
Oh, wow.
He wanted me to do a 1 hour set. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. He's like, what are you talking about? You got all this music. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm not trying to do that. Now, it's me, Game, E40, Dub C. I feel like I'm missing somebody. It's a West Coast send-off, literally. Some of the people that I've known for years. So we all get together and stuff. I had this kid that worked for me, and he did music, and he was actually pretty good. Martell. And it was, I forgot the name of that group. OBFMG, something like that. Martell Cartel. And I got him and his homie, his group, and I was like, I'm going to give y'all like 15 minutes, and I'm going to do the 15, because I said I'd do 30.
Nice.
So I let them basically do a song or two. Then I would come out and do a couple songs. And then I let them do another song, and then I closed it out, right? And then from there, it's like the game came on, and literally I'm on stage the whole damn night because everybody trying to is this whole. So you know how they do the TV show, the comedy thing where they be talking shit to everybody,
Yeah.
and they sit on stage and they just
the
joke
roast.
The roast. So this is like that only for music. So everybody talking shit. Telling I ain't gonna say my stage name, stories and tales and shit from where we did tours and stuff. And it was cool. That's literally my last show. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's why I'm curious of what made you decide to come back after you chose not to, and then like your biggest shows, and where you plan on taking it now, right? Because when we think about rap music right now, right? Who's the real old head in the game that we say? Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. Snoop. Jay.
But Jay ain't doing it on a regular basis. Snoop is.
I mean, is Snoop really making music? Really?
Nigga, Snoop got a damn new album out like every year, every quarter.
I mean, but how we know that's not like stockpile music though?
But that's what I'm saying. But he's still dropping.
True.
Right. So my question, like in this day and age, right? Especially where music is right now, like what does your music sound? What do you do to stay relevant?
Oh man. What do I do to stay relevant? I'm gonna be honest, man. I just keep going. I talk about relevant topics. I talk about stuff that people are going through now. A lot of the stuff that I talked about 7, 8 years ago is relevant. It's starting to come to like fruition right now.
I can attest to. I have a song that's old as hell. I'll play it for you off show.
For sure.
Bro, when you hear this
It's just
shit,
funny.
it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, because I could drop it right now.
And you be like, look, watch it resonate.
And go platinum. It will go platinum.
gonna
It's one of those
resonate.
songs. It go
Yeah.
platinum. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's so catchy. It's just and I sit here and go. I wrote that in 2008.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like stuff I wrote, like I'm still dropping music from COVID. Like still.
That's when I finally recorded the song. I wrote it in 2008. I recorded it during COVID. I was bored.
Like for real, like I'm still dropping music from COVID. Like I've maybe released maybe 1 or 2 songs like recently that I just recently did. But no, I'm still pulling out stuff from like, yeah, it's 2019, it's 2018, it's 2020. Like, oh yeah, drop that. Like, when did we record this? Like, oh, we did this in 2016. Like, for real?
What is your reception like in Arizona?
I've gotten a pretty good reception. I know a lot of times Arizona they're really welcoming, but they're really welcoming to you if you rep them too, though. Like, if you put on for them, like, yes, I'm from Milwaukee, but I still put on for Phoenix. Like, I'll still mention Phoenix in my songs. I'll still shout out Phoenix, even though I'm from Milwaukee. I'll shout them both out. I mean, because, yeah, I'm from Milwaukee, but Phoenix put me on, though. That's the difference. When it comes to music, Phoenix put me on. You know what I'm saying? I met cats out here that were actually serious about the music and serious about making a name for themselves. So that's why I took it serious and decided to really, you know, go balls to the wall and be like, yeah, I'm finna do this. Like, no matter what, I'm doing this. Like, I'm all in.
So what is your goal? What is your overall goal for the music industry?
My overall goal for the music industry is, yes, to build a catalog, an incredible catalog for myself, gain a huge following, start seeing a major return on the investment. You know, definitely want to get a good ROI. A lot of people don't understand that in this music
Okay,
industry.
don't be coming in here talking them college terms, okay? I'm understand
ROI
that.
is return on investment, people.
But we gotta stop showing how smart you are. Don't be using college terms and shit. These motherfuckers ain't went to college that be watching these.
But they understand business.
No, they don't.
I mean, if it's street niggas on here, they definitely understand business.
See, and this is why me personally, and especially even in corporate America, I would prefer to hire a street nigga than a school nigga. And the reason for that is street niggas are used to handling large sums of money. They are used to counting and doing their own accounting. They are a people person. So imagine if you are a drug dealer. What type of people do you deal with on a regular basis?
All types.
Every walk of life, from the fiend to the casual user.
Right.
Customer service
To
at
the
its
broke
finest.
nigga to the rich nigga.
You are the ultimate salesperson. Look, the same. This is the big, because I have friends. Okay, Let's just say I have friends. Okay. You know how to talk to the lawyers, the judges, the DEA.
Everybody.
Because what people don't realize is in the streets, you may know exactly who these people are because you're actually serving them. And because you serve them, that's why they don't serve you papers.
Facts.
Ain't got shit to do with snitching or none of that. It's literally a
Who you
lot
know?
of these people are hands down, they are users. They are your number one clients.
Facts.
Y'all don't understand. If when these judges and these lawyers had these big ass parties, the number one drug of choice is cocaine.
It's there.
Yes, if you know Judge Powell,
Cocaine is there.
it is in the house. All them little young ass biddies with their titties hanging out and the dresses all short.
Yeah, them yams is out.
They
Coke and yams.
going to the bathroom,
Coke and yams.
getting it.
Coke and yams.
So the street niggas definitely gonna understand the terminology because they are great at getting a return of investment. It's these
Facts.
school kids. I'm so smart. I've got a college degree.
And that shit don't mean nothing.
Nothing. So yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah, that's basically what I just really and then at the end of the day start developing artists on my own. You know.
So management.
Yeah, management. You know, because like I said, we all got an expiration date. I don't plan on doing this shit forever.
Welcome to MNB, sir. Welcome to MNB.
Facts. Like, so I mean, that's my whole thing. Like, I definitely want to, you know, get into artist development and actually, you know, putting people out there and putting them on and seeing what they got to offer for themselves.
If anybody's looking for an actual manager, MNB Management, we have a website. It is mnbmanagement.com. Go ahead and come on out. We got you.
So come out, he got you. I'm telling you, if you need management, you better get it. But what's funny, I think it's funny, it's a lot of cats out here that be like wanting managers, but they never even really did a show with 500 people.
They don't even know.
I'd be like, bro.
I'm not going to say their names, but there's two names that you named that swore they was ready for management and everything else, right? Until it was time to actually do what it took. So this is the thing. Within less than 24 hours, I had a conversation with a guy with Miami Mike. That's the same manager for Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
And he was actually interested in one of them. And then I had a label that's actually interested in the other person. But you know the number one thing that they found wrong with these two artists? They didn't see where they're putting the money behind them and the fact that they're not marketing themselves. So when it came time to have that conversation about marketing and you need an actual budget to actually put some shit behind you because they're interested, but they're not going to make a move because they know it's not going to be a good ROI for the label because you know how labels are all about their return of investment. They're not going to put $10 million into you unless they know they're going to get $100 million off of you.
Back. For real.
Once we started having those conversations with these two artists, they have now fallen off the planet. At least in conversations with me and my brother. But I think this is the thing. Most people, when they come and say, "Oh, I'm looking for a manager. I want somebody that can like take me to the next level," usually they talk to dudes that can't do nothing for them. And I think they realized that it was like really real and some shit could actually happen, and it did happen. And they saw paperwork. They saw
people get
telephone
terrified
calls.
of paperwork.
They saw emails. They saw this shit was really happening, and then that's when they realized, okay, we're not ready. But everybody wants the money.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, want management, but like I said, they just, like you said, they're not ready for the shit at all. Because when it comes to it,
also need to know what a manager does.
that's the part that they don't know.
They think a manager is supposed to pay all their stuff for. Put me in the studio, pay for my studio.
Right, book my flights, pay for my flights.
Book the
Rent
flight.
me a car.
Yep. Do all no.
Pay the
no.
videographer. No, dude. Like they manage your career.
This
That's what they
means
there
that
to
you
do.
have so much work coming in. People are calling you to book shows. There's appearances. There's all these things going on. It is my job to manage you and say, "Cool, we're gonna do this on this date, but this is how much it costs to have them come do that."
Right.
The more of that I do, I'm basically managing your career and managing the contracts that are coming in, and then talking to the people that you should not be talking to, which actually makes you seem more valuable. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand the business. And I get 20% of all the business that I help bring you in with, which goes now to brand deals. Now I want to be able to hit up brands and say, I have this artist that I think is going to fit your product perfectly. Let's talk about some things, right? But again, when those conversations started happening and people started seeing numbers come behind that and it was real conversation, they had to show up on time and do things. Accountability.
Where is it?
They felt, yep.
Where is it?
Yeah. I started calling the accountability. Accountability stopped answering the phone.
Yeah, man. I sought out management. I did all that stuff. And I remember I had a conversation with Justice one time, and I was asking, I was like, dude, does it really matter if I get management right now? Or he was like, for what? He's like, what you gonna get management for right now? He's like, everything you're doing it on your own right now, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you booking shows, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you do interviews, you do all this type. You go out of town, you do shows, you do this there, you do this there. He's like, what you need a manager for?
You give away money.
He said, you just giving away your money, bro.
Yep.
He's like, right now, he's like, I don't want to, sound fucked up or anything like that. He's like, I'm gonna just keep it real. He said, you're not really at the stage of your career where you need management.
Nope.
He said, none of these artists are in Arizona. He's like, but people want to run the management so fast because they get a little bit of buzz or they do something, where they feel like, oh man, I'm finna blow up. It's like, it don't work like that. Like, yeah, you had one great show. That's dope, bro. But how many people have you ever performed in front of? Like, what's your max? Because a lot of times, there's a lot of cats out here that just perform for the same 30 people, which is their homies. Like, that's tight.
17,000, Kansas City, Missouri, Spirit Fest. I didn't have no damn manager.
Right, you don't need a manager.
I didn't have no manager.
Like, unless you have that many offers coming in for you, then you need a manager. Then you need somebody to manage that for you.
So, first label that actually hit me up was Astrowork, something like that. Anyway, they hit me up, and then two others hit me up. And guess who hit me right after that? A manager. A manager actually found me because what you guys don't realize is just like when labels look for you, they have A&Rs, and A&Rs are having conversations with a bunch of people, and they start talking. And when they start talking about you, well, a lot of those conversations are being had with managers. And then the manager hits you up and goes, hey, we interested in you. And why? Because there's this thing called a signing bonus. They get you signed to a label, especially one that they have a relationship with, we get a signing bonus. Like, if I knew an artist for real that was 100% ready, had all his ducks in a row following, numbers, I could just walk into any label and throw some shit on the table and be like, and listen to this, and we finna have a meeting. Yeah, I'm finna take that check. Just for that reason. Because it's that easy.
Money gone.
But there's not many. There ain't nobody like that. That's why these labels is creating artists. Like what's his name? Lil Yachty. They create them artists, but you got to look at it. Who's his father? Like, his father is the music industry. These are bots. They create these people out of. You got a kid? Yeah. Let's go ahead and just throw them out there.
Right, they got people writing their songs for them. Like,
yeah, they don't have to do nothing. They just get to be the face of it.
Collect that check.
Why is Lil Yachty so rich? Because his daddy owns the damn label.
Right. He was born into this.
Literally.
He didn't have to struggle for it like, a real rapper would have to struggle for it. Like,
Jaden Smith.
come on, man. Come on,
How's
man.
he got so much money? You know who his daddy
daddy
is?
Right. His daddy married somebody from I Am Legend, so that's tight. He married one of them aliens. That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, so biggest show. You run a rap festival, right? What have you done since then?
Since then, I've been in Atlanta. I've done a few shows in Atlanta. Flag, Tucson, Chicago, Milwaukee. Definitely went back home to perform, which was cool. I want to do Summerfest back home though, because that's one of the biggest outside music festivals next to what's the face? Drawing a blank. That's always out in California every year.
Coachella.
Yeah. Summerfest is one of the next biggest
You
festivals
know how
that you put on.
easy it is to get on Coachella?
I have no idea.
Just a telephone call.
That's crazy. He said one telephone call, that's all.
You personally could make that one telephone call and be on Coachella.
Oh, wow.
You know how many small artists are on Coachella every year?
I know. I need to get that plug. We're going to talk after we get off this air.
You could Google it yourself. Like these music festivals. So there's the big one that happens in Chicago. What's it called? It'll come to me. It's been years. I tell you, I've been out the music industry for years. There's a big one in Chicago, and it happened at Grant Park. How do I know about it? Because, I mean, I was living in Missouri and living in the Midwest. That's what you hear about, Spirit Fest. And then you hear about the one that happens in Chicago. Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
It was a telephone call. No manager, no deal. I just made a telephone call. Report to this stage at this time. No cost, no nothing. And you know, they put the big names on the flyer, but then you see all these little names of nobodies. I was one of the little names of nobodies.
Oh, wow.
And all I did was make a telephone call. Sent over, at the time, my MySpace. And I was good at I'm good at marketing, right? So my MySpace was popping. And then, well, it just works. It works out perfectly great when you got people in the music industry that are family members. Because Chingy is my first cousin, and Nelly is our third cousin. So guess who was in my top 5 on there?
Nelly and Chingy?
And then I had my other cousin Spiffy, who was Chingy's hype man. He was up there. And then it was at that time I went to the Mayweather fight in Las Vegas, where 50 Cent was there. I met Madonna. Madonna actually added me on MySpace.
What?
I put her in my top friend. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I put her in my top friend. So when I called up for Lollapalooza, man, it was enough. Just seeing my MySpace and then all the numbers that were on there, all these different people on my MySpace with all these different followers back then. Shit, it looked like I was popping.
Yeah, they thought that you knew Tom.
Yeah, Tom was always the first friend.
They were like, oh, he know Tom.
So, but this is the crazy part.
On.
Now, here's what worked out. Just from doing that show by itself, it got me in Crunk magazine, which turns out was mainly done out of Chicago. It got me invited to some Twisted shows, and then boom, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, labels started hitting me, and I was still nobody, no manager, no nothing.
That's crazy. Damn.
So, Mike, this is the crazy part. To make it in the music industry is actually really easy. It's whether or not you're going to put yourself out there.
Yeah, that's facts, though.
Google. Back in the day, there was I think it's called Musicians. No, not Musicians Friend. Guitar. What the hell is it called? There's a book, And in this book, it has every A&R, every label executive, it had different chapters, right? And in each chapter, it told you who the A&Rs was, it showed you who the managers was, it showed you who the GMs were, it showed you who all the booking agents were. I paid my $17 from Barnes and Nobles and went and picked that up, and I used to just call.
Wow.
And call.
Right, somebody gonna pick up the phone for real.
So it was a win-win situation. And like I said, before I knew it, there was a half-ass little bidding war. I think at the time I had maybe a whole total of 7 songs. So I jumped on MySpace and found this guy by the name of Gildy Flores, Gilflow Productions. He was hard as shit. He was out of Texas. I was living in Missouri. I put together, I said, hey, I got these labels, hit me up. I know I'm going to need a demo. You give me 5 tracks, and you're going to be my in-house producer. He gave me 5 tracks. I absolutely slaughtered them bitches. When it came time to go see any of the labels, I already had 5 good tracks ready to go. Professionally recorded, mixed and mastered on a producer. Like, this is my producer. Man, right. This motherfucker, it turns up going to, I got signed. He ends up going to do shit for BET, MTV. He's, what is that? Remember the TV show with 3 6 Mafia?
Yeah.
Okay, so that their intro song,
yeah,
that there's part of their intro song is actually my beat for one of the 5 tracks that he gave me.
Wow.
I gave it because they loved it, so I gave them permission to use that. I still get royalty checks off of that through ASCAP.
That's beautiful.
And then like now he works with Timbaland. He's through Timbaland's camp
with the GOAT.
And all I did was find these motherfuckers off of MySpace back then. So that's why I say now, like, where you're at in this industry right now, in Arizona,
yeah,
and the internet is far more wide open.
Oh yeah, you gotta play it to your advantage.
Man, leverage the hell out that shit.
Yeah, man, it's like now it's all about posting at the right time. Posting
Post
every
all
day.
The time.
Yeah, all day, every day. Like, cause I mean, before, like when it first started, like you had to figure out when to post. Like now, it's just post all the time, all day, every day, and it's gonna hit. Like you never know what the people gonna like, what it's gonna take. Like, you can go viral instantly. Like, it's that easier now. Like, cause back then when we was growing up, yeah, man. I remember, like, I had homies that would go shop the labels, be standing outside rapping in front of A&Rs and, you know, just trying to get in the building. Like,
I would never see.
You ain't got to do that no more.
Yeah, for me, I would have never. I didn't do that.
Like, you ain't got to do that no more. Like, I had homies really doing that. Like,
get an email, send a track over. Get an email, send a track over.
My oldest cousin really rapped in front of Jermaine Dupri in Atlanta
for no reason too.
This was like back in the early 90s. Like early 90s when he was like put on Criss Cross type stuff. Damn. Like, this was like, you know, Master P, I'm selling the mixtape outside the trunk. But
that's when that worked. I can say that's when it worked.
Yeah. Like, just imagine, like, now a lot of these cats can't even freestyle.
No.
Like, if you ask them to freestyle, they be like, yeah, no. Like, I'm not freestyling, man. Like, I got you.
No, what gets me is when you got a local artist that ain't did shit, and you be like, hey, man, go ahead and spit a bar. Spit one of spit your best song. I ain't doing nothing if you're not paying me. Nigga, how much money you made in the industry? None. Then what the fuck are you
spit
talking
that shit,
about?
right, spit that shit then.
If you ain't made no money, but you gonna sit here and try to say, well, if you ain't paying me, I'm not doing it. Nigga, ain't nobody paying you and you doing it.
Like, you never even got paid for a show before. You still playing to play. So what are you talking about? You still paying $300 for a slot. Like, what you talking about?
You have any shows coming up?
I do have a show coming up next month in Flagstaff with my man Dub. And then I have a couple shows coming up in Atlanta soon. So next couple months I'll be in Atlanta
The hell you doing out in Atlanta?
performing.
How you get that plug?
Man, like you said, pick up the phone, make some calls.
Atlanta will actually pay you though.
Atlanta does pay you.
Atlanta will pay you, so will Colorado.
Atlanta pays you, but you know the scene is so big out there. I mean, and think about Atlanta is like when you out in Atlanta, and you performing in Atlanta, you could run into anybody at your show, like and people do pull up to those shows
Because they looking.
'Cause, right, they looking.
Consistently looking.
They constantly looking for talent. And I know one thing was funny, and a lot of people don't understand this, is that Arizona get a lot of love out in Atlanta, which is crazy because I went out to Atlanta to shoot a music video and ended up performing out there. And at the same time, it was me, KT, Gibson, Joseph Bills was out there, Ace, Justina, like of course living out there. Just the Empress is living out there. So I linked up with all of them. You know, Joe Boy was out there with us and all types of stuff. It was crazy. I ended up meeting Ray Daniels out there. Like, caught that plug. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, but they was like, hey, this Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is Atlanta. Like, it can't happen if you in the A and you in the right spot at the right time. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You may have some like a big wig or like as people call him a gatekeeper pull you to the side and tell you to spit your verse again.
Crazy part is late 2005, early 2006. Me and my fiance at the time, LaShonda, was together, and I said I was positive I was moving to Atlanta just for that reason, and didn't, and decided to stay in Missouri, and still got signed.
I mean, shoot, Missouri. I mean, but you had an end though. You got an
Nope,
end.
didn't use any of that.
That's funny. You didn't use none of your cousins.
So you know the crazy part about it? All right, so with think, because first one to go, think Nelly. He's the first person to get signed, right?
Right.
He got who?
St. Lunatics, really.
Okay, what have they done?
Nothing.
Okay, so then you got Chingy. He had to get it, boys. What they do?
Nothing.
Okay, now let's go outside of that. You got 50 Cent and you got G Unit. What they do?
Nothing.
Okay. So
nothing.
So what I looked at is I look at.
I mean, you got Young Buck.
trajectory.
You got Young Buck.
Young Buck. Okay,
and
so
trannies.
hold on.
Young Buck and trannies. That's what you got out of that. Yeah, you say we talk shit on this show.
Hold on. Young Buck is actually my nigga. I met Young Buck back when he was with Cash Money before 50 Cent took him. Young Buck.
I remember that.
Cool ass nigga.
I remember when he was signing Cash Money.
Nigga, I knew him. Look, I had the big timers come to the city where I was at in Missouri, and that's when I met Young Buck. And we became cool then when he wasn't Young Buck. So we can't. We'll leave him alone. We leave him.
Hey man, these cats is funny, man. I send jokes to everybody, man. You know what I mean?
But so what the hell was I saying? I looked at the trajectory of all these different rappers and then the groups they come out with. So you got Biggie, and then with Biggie you had his
Junior Mafia. Yeah.
Okay, now you got Tupac, and then Tupac came with
The Outlaws.
Okay,
Right.
I'm talking about all the way back. So you had Ice Cube and you had NWA, right? Okay, so out of all of those, which one is the biggest?
Out of all those groups,
Mm-hmm.
I would say NWA still.
Thank you. NWA was the biggest, and they ass still ain't together. They broke up a long time ago. Ain't never came back together.
They broke up after one album.
Thank you. That is
One
all.
album.
If
One
you
album.
look at all of them, I think
One album.
G Unit got 2, right? But
The St.
you also
Lunatics got
had-
one.
You had different. So my thought process was, if I go through any of my family members, and okay, so if I come up through Slaughter Lot, probably gonna be signed to shit. If I come up through Slaughter Lot, I'm still gonna be associated. At the time, he was under Capitol, but everything was going through Disturbing the Peace, which he's gonna be Def Jam, blah. Okay, well I look at Ludacris, and Ludacris had all them different. I don't know how many groups that nigga came out with. None of them still here, but Ludacris is. So for me, it was like I don't want to do that. I would rather go out and make a name for myself.
Yeah.
Because yeah, my little cousin Jeff, who was the hype man for Chingy. So this is the thing. Chingy actually opened for Nelly, right? But he didn't get his deal because of that. He actually went on his own, went down to Atlanta. If it wasn't for Track Stars, he would have never got his deal. It was actually producer that hooked Little Howard up, right? Lil Jeff was kicking it with Jermaine Dupri on a regular basis to go to So Def. Never happened. There was so much stuff going on with so many of my different family members in the music industry. And I was like, but it's not working. So I decided to put in the work. When at one point in time I did mixtapes. I was releasing mixtapes once a week.
Oh, you was flooding the block with mixtapes.
Yeah, but this is the thing. So I live in the Midwest, and the beautiful part about that is you get in your car and drive 5 hours anywhere, you're in some sort of city.
Facts.
I had a CD duplicator. So I'm making the hell out of CDs, just duplicating the hell out of all these CDs. And then I know Photoshop. I got flyers. Nigga, I'm posting up posters like I'm having shows there, like I'm having actual music, like CDs dropping like it's finna be in stores. I had just CD covers just on the wall. And people would actually start calling me, and that's how I started getting booked for shows. And some people would be like, we're just inquiring about such and such. We don't know if we can afford him or not. What's his price going for? So then I get to start setting my own price. And,
that's beautiful.
And before I knew it, it's just guerrilla marketing. Just guerrilla. You go to Memphis, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when it's pretty much dead. And back then, you had the 13 by 17 posters. You can get those from overnight or club flyers. You get 100 of those for $40. Psh, nigga, you can do a lot. Gas stations, street poles, liquor stores.
Yeah, definitely in the window fronts.
You went to sleep and woke up and went into the store, and my face was plastered all over it with these high color resolution, high resolution posters, like posters posted up. And then during the daytime, I'm just going through the block. Every nigga with a car with a system in it, hey, pop this in. Let me know if you like it. I ain't buying that. I'm not selling it. Pop it in. Let me see if you like it. Nigga, I made sure I was like the next Young Jeezy, Rick Ross. I was making hard-hitting, Guilty was making hard-hitting ass beats.
Yeah,
so
your shit was hitting in the subs. You was winning. You was winning.
Even if the music sucked, which thank God it didn't, the street niggas was resonating to because I was talking that street shit, but we had the bass lines to go with it, and they D-boys, so everything just worked out perfectly fine. And like I said, before long, shit, niggas was get away from the door, GG.
Yeah, you was booked.
Yeah, so I would say making it then compared to now makes it easier because shit, I had to spend gas money, hotel. I can tell you, I slept in my car. You just pull over on the side of the road because you're so tired, you sleep in your car.
Right now, you spend a few dollars on Instagram or social media, and then bada boom, bada bing.
So yeah, family members, I wasn't finna go that route because also I'm big on respect, and I want you to respect my grind, respect my hustle, respect my work, respect my work ethic. I remember the first time I was in Atlanta at T.I. It was called Trap House Studios then, and the nigga made a bet. He said, "I watch him go in there and drop this 610 and not fuck up." So this is what I was known for. I would write my verse and go in the studio and drop it, 0 fuck ups, even though I just wrote it. So he had seen, because at that point in time, there was this promoter. His name is AB the White Boy. He's still my homie to this day. And I was on the road with him, and we was going to all these studios. So we went from like Missouri to Arkansas, Arkansas to Chicago, Chicago to Memphis, Memphis to Mississippi, Mississippi to Atlanta. Now all these different cities, I'm doing all these different studios and shit, recording music with all these different artists. I had no idea who they was. I'm just charging $150 and you gonna get 16. I just wanted gas money.
He said, I just wanted gas money.
I just wanted gas, because this is the thing. I could go to Best Buy, and for $20, I was getting a spindle of 100 CDs.
Yeah.
And then they came out with them next CDs, and I was getting a spindle of 100 they went on sale for like $7.99. So I had hundreds of blank CDs in the trunk of the car. So I had my own studio, my little mixer, a mic stand, my tower, and then my burner tower, all in the trunk of my car with clothes and pillows. So like people don't understand like the real shit. Like people think I got a lot of clothes now. Nigga, if I would have kept all the clothes, I would literally go to the hood shops. You know how you go to the hood shops and you get jeans for $15, the t-shirt for $7,
right?
The off-key ass motherfucking shoes for $45. And you put on a fitted. Niggas think you looking high. Like I'm in every city buying this same bullshit, right? Wearing $60 outfits.
Back then all you needed was a white tee. You was good.
Nah, because I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to get away from that shit.
I remember they banned her from clubs.
Thank you. So I'm buying shit where it made me stand out and look different to other people to actually go in and you go do this show, right? And they like that nigga clean as a motherfucker, and music cool, and it looked like a straight up D-boy. Because it looked like at the time I got on these Visu jeans. I got these Visu knockoff looking motherfuckers at different spots. So you go to you know how it was then, niggas was doing that. You got Mr. Potato Head, you had Sesame Street with a fucking fitted hat on, counting money.
Right.
All them different type of t-shirts and shit.
Cosby Kids.
Yeah, so like that's the shit that I was wearing back then because that's what was hot. And you know, that shit was cool. And yeah, you could just hit city to city to city, buying it up at Trap House. And sitting here in front of T.I. And these niggas is making best that I'm not gonna fuck up while I'm dropping verses. And yeah, I think that's where I really started making like real friends in the industry and started making a name for myself. So it's really about just networking, because I think
that's funny. I met T.I. on a standby flight. He was on a standby flight from Atlanta to Memphis. And that was my first time I ever met T.I. This was like right around the time when he dropped 24s. And he was still flying standby. And people were like, man, you jacking. Like, no. He was flying standby. He had a rose gold chain on, a white tee.
So he was probably fucking with somebody that worked with worked with the airlines, because my cousin worked at the airline. I was flying standby when I got to a certain point because she worked for American Airlines. I'd be like, cuz, can you give me a ticket? Yeah, I got you, but you got to fly standby.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was American Airlines. It was American Airlines. And I remember I leaned over to my sister. I said, that's T.I. She was like, who is T.I.? I said, you know the dude that got the 24 song. She was like, yeah. And then she looked back. I was like, dude, don't be no groupie. Like, don't be no groupie, dog. Like, you just trying to be low key. I remember he was on the phone and the flight attendant was telling him to get off the phone. It was crazy. And I got a chance to meet him and shake his hand and tell him how dope I thought that song was. And at the time, I was just starting to really rap. And like you said, it's just about networking with people for real. Like, if I was to meet him to this day, I would tell him that story.
T.I. is the reason that I ever even started doing real estate.
That's what's up.
He was the one that said buy apartment complexes, flip houses. Nigga, I was scared as shit.
You gotta take the leap of faith, though.
Nah, I didn't have money like that yet. I was flipping cars. I was buying cars and reselling them. Buying cars and reselling them. Buy cars, put rims on them, sell them. Buy cars, literally.
Put some rims on them.
Put some rims on it, pay the gas station, let it sit there until it's sold. Motherfuckers will buy the car. You go to so my boy Dewan we would go to the auction, pay a couple $100. I had the rim shop, little custom shop. They would sell me their used rims for $500. We set up a deal, $500 flat. Sell me their used rims for $500. I put the used rims on that bitch.
So
Car, because you know niggas see cars with rims on it. It's got to be a good car. Nigga, I don't know what the hell was wrong with that car. I just made sure it ran and could pass inspection.
let me find out you was out here selling lemons. He was flipping lemons.
Nigga, I was just flipping cars, and then I started making real money. At one point, I was making after I got signed, I was making 20 grand a show, 20 grand a night, just using the Sony name by itself. And nigga, at some point in time, somebody gonna pull me in for their podcast and do an interview, and I'm gonna tell I got a shit ton of stories, nigga, shit ton of stories.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, it's just funny. Like when you grow up through life and you coming through life and you meet people, you just never know what they journey is, what their struggle is, like who they done met, who they done came across, you know, what type of influences they got. You know, that's why I like vibing with people. That's why I like doing music.
Yeah, because you learn a lot about a lot of people.
Real
You're
fast.
around a lot of people.
All the time. And, I mean, you can tell who faking and who not. You know, I done seen cats where, you know, they be like, dude, you had a really good life growing up. Like, why you be talking about the total opposite? Like, bro, you ain't never did none of this shit ever in life. So yeah, but it just sounds cool. Like, bro, some of us really lived it. Like, and it wasn't cool. Like, it wasn't cool then, B.
I wish I didn't live that shit. Because if I wasn't living the shit, no, let me put it like this.
We was trying to survive.
Let me change this shit up. I'm glad. So, like, when I went to prison, I'm glad I went to prison because I was definitely on my way out. When I say on my way out, I mean, that summer along, I probably been shot at like 20 times. Still, here I am, 43, I ain't never been hit. But I was doing so much. I was in the streets so much. I was out every day. I remember the day I came home after a situation happened, and my mom came in my room, right? And I got a gun in each hand, and she's like, give me those. And I'm like, nah. She's like, no, give me those. And I looked there. It was the first time me and my mom actually got into a real fight, and she was like, do you even care if you live or die? And I told her, I was like, no, I don't. Like, at this point, I don't care no more. And shortly after that, I feel like when I was 21, my birthday's in September.
Hey, Virgo Nation, let's get it.
I'm a Libra.
So what day is your birthday?
26.
Oh, mine's the 21st.
So here's the crazy part. So I turned 21 September 26th, November 6th, same year. I'm sitting down for 4 years, flat.
That's crazy.
So when I say it was a crazy turn of events, if it didn't happen the way it did, I wouldn't be here today. Guaranteed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh, yeah. Same.
So,
yeah, that's life, man.
no pencils.
No pencils. I mean,
I had plastic flexible pens trying to write letters and shit. You ain't stabbing nobody with the shit they give you.
Yeah. Juvie, they give you that green sweatsuit with them Velcro shoes.
He said the Velcros.
Yeah, they put you in Velcros, bro. They real white bus-ish, I should say. Look like you was going to school on a white bus.
Well, I will say this to you, sir. If you need help in this music industry, you need a push, you need a foot in the door. Wrong one. Damn, that's it. You fucking up. I got you. I'm going to help you out every way possible. I mean, that's literally what I do is try to help people get to the next level. If you need help trying to get your business shit right, and like I said, with your website and all that, definitely help you out. That's also why you sitting on the couch right now. Yeah. So this is my thing. As an artist myself, a past artist, nobody ever just hit me and said, you want to be on my podcast? You want to come on my radio show? Hey, you want to put a song on my mixtape? Nobody ever did that. Nobody ever gave a handout, an invite. Hey, do you want to come do it? Hey, come talk about what you got going on. hey, come get on this show for free and take. I got 5,000 people finna show up. Come take some of these people and make them yours.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate it.
that's what this podcast is about. Take the next whatever. Tell the people who you are, what you got going on, what you got coming, where you want to be at, where you gonna be at. This is your moment to shine.
Yeah, so again, my name is Vonni G. You can find me on all major platforms at Vonni G414, Instagram, Twitter. I just got an EP I just put out with a legendary producer out in the UK named Sixth Floor called Fish and Chips. Definitely go get that. Just released a new single with Sixth Floor with another Arizona artist out here named Akrashan with this guy named K9 called See Within. We're definitely pushing that single right now. I got 3 videos on the way. A huge major push right now for a still single that I just released not too long ago called Checking For Me. I'm still pushing that. I'm going to continue to push that until I see the numbers that I want to see with it. You can find me in Flagstaff next month. Time and date, location will be announced soon. I will have that information up on all my social media platforms for anyone that would like to attend the show and come pop out and see me live and see me do my thing and hear these real rap. All main vocals, no mains. You know what I'm saying? I turn my mains off. So, you know what I'm saying? Come hear some real rap, get some real lyrics, some real bars, some real struggle. Definitely come fuck with me. Definitely be in Atlanta in the next couple of months as well. Doing some shows out there. Of course, all, to be TBA, everything will be on my social media, flyers and all that stuff. I do have a new album on the way. I don't have a release date yet to it because right now we are getting ready to put a major push behind it. Like my man said, with this music, you do have to have a budget behind your stuff. You got to be marketable. You got to be able to pay for marketing and advertising. So that's what I'm doing right now is getting my money up so I can get ready to do a professional and major rollout with this new album I got coming out, which is entitled The Black Morty LP. But other than that, that's where I'm trying to get to. Hopefully see me in some movies soon, maybe a commercial or two. Got some placement opportunities coming with my music as well. So I may be on some TV shows that people are watching currently. So definitely be on the lookout for me. I'm definitely on the rise and definitely on the come up.
Y'all heard it here first. Hey man, welcome to No Cap Reacts. The door is always open, sir, when you want to come through. And
I appreciate it.
You found out you real close, so
down the fucking street.
Hey, you know what's even crazier? I ain't even gonna lie to you. So I was just perusing through Facebook like I usually do.
Yeah.
And as you know, I hit you, right? When you send me your shit, because the way your picture was, I didn't even know you was a nigga. I thought you was a white boy.
For real?
Yeah. Real talk on my mama.
That's funny.
I was like, I thought this was a white boy.
Nah, man, I'm definitely a brother.
Last
time I checked, I got this melanin in me, you know what I mean?
Not
You know what I'm saying?
So I was like, okay, cool. This really gonna be cool.
This man thought I was a white dude. Oh,
hey man,
Lord.
I saw the picture. You sent me a picture of you in a dark ass studio, and I posted that shit. I was like, this the best thing he got.
Oh, no, I could have sent you some other stuff too.
Well, here's the thing though. Like I just saw the profile and the fact that you was standing in front of a mic, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, he do music. And I was like, I ain't heard of this person. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna reach out to him. And that's literally what I've been doing.
I appreciate it.
I have literally been scrolling Facebook for the last how long ago did I book you? 4 weeks ago?
Yep, 3-4 weeks ago.
Okay, you know that in that 24-hour time frame, I booked for all of March and all of April in one day.
Damn. He was grinding.
Again, when I do something, I go in the hustle mode. That's literally what I do.
It was funny when you reached out to me. I was in the studio when you actually reached out to me, and I was I was talking to my man. He's like his brother is my actual manager, but he's like my executive producer. So I'm like, we chilling. I'm like, bro, you ever heard of this cat? He like, nah. I was like, he said he got a podcast. I said, I knew everybody in Arizona that got a podcast. And then he was like, it's a podcast. He's like, is it Tone? I'm like, nah. I said, man, dude, don't do no live interviews on the Hatrix, man. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this one. He was like, hey, that's what's up. I was like, I don't think he's ever heard of me before though. So I kind of had a feeling you never heard of me, but that's the beauty of it.
I know, because what it does, it made me have to go look for your music. I had to find you. I had to listen to it, and I was like, all right. I don't like to really structure my interviews. I like to just have real conversations. Like even in my intro, it says real lives, real people, real conversations.
Yeah.
That's why I told you. People think that I come up with the topics of what we talk about.
Nah, we just talking.
Correct. And I said, if you want a topic, you pick the topic, and then we'll just talk about it when you get here.
Yeah.
I tell that to all my guests. People really think that I just be making this shit up and just coming up with the topics, and then people just gotta go.
These are the best interviews, though. That's the thing, though, because when you have a structured interview, I mean, you can structure your answers.
Here's the thing: I don't like anything fake, and that's fake.
Yeah, man, just be real. Like, let's let it flow naturally. Let the artist really just talk about whatever, because it's gonna all come out.
And I talk a lot of shit and have fun, so it's like I want motherfuckers in here that's got like a personality. and could just brush it off their shoulders and talk shit back, and we just go from there.
Yeah,
and
man, because the fat kid with the number 2 pencil coming.
See? Y'all better watch these fat niggas with these pencils. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you got kids in middle school right now and there's a fat kid,
stay away.
Send your kids to school with goggles or some shit. Give them Horace Grant eyeglasses.
The Horace Grant eyeglasses. There was some thick ass goggles too, dog.
That nigga's eyes wouldn't get poked out for shit.
Them goggles was plexiglass.
Nigga, I appreciate you showing up tonight.
Thank you for having me, man. I definitely appreciate it.
The door is always open. You can come sit down here on the couch. As a matter of fact, I'll be posting even today. I was like, damn, I should get a female up in here. So I just posted on the channel. Any females want to come on the channel? But it was late, so I knew wasn't nobody going to answer. Well, I did get a couple of answers, but they lived too far. One was in Buckeye. The other one was way West Valley.
Oh, yeah, they was in Tulsa.
You ain't finna make it.
Like, it's over for you.
Yep, you ain't finna make it. They're like, what time we got to be there? I said, you got to be here by at least 7:30. We know we go live at 8 o'clock.
I ain't gonna make it.
Yep. I gotta get ready and shit. I ain't gonna make it.
I gotta put my wig on. With my wig glue.
So, you see what I do? You see where I'm at? This is my shit.
Yeah, bro, you got a dope setup. I love it. Thank you for having me again, though, for sure. Yep. Definitely appreciate it.
Got anybody else you that might want to do it? Go ahead and send them my way.
Oh, I definitely got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another episode of Sunday Night Live. Tonight we have Vonni G. Welcome to No Cap Reacts. And with that...